Very good morning, cadets. So we are in the process of revision of chapter The Rise of Nationalism in Europe. The rise of nationalism in Europe is an important chapter from the examination point of view, and you can expect a lot of questions from this chapter since the board examination from the history, rise of nationalism in Europe and the nationalism in India chapters are considered for the board examination. So please understand each and every important or minute aspect of this particular chapter. So let us understand the topic and the key points of in this chapter. We are going to study about French Revolution in brief and Napoleonic Code of Civil Code, that is Civil Code introduced by Napoleon Bonaparte in the year 1804. So how Napoleon Code abolished the birth-based privileges in Europe. Then Treaty of Vienna, important point you have to understand, because after defeat of Napoleon Bonaparte in the Battle of Waterloo, the four countries defeated Napoleon Bonaparte with the combined army. They signed the Treaty of Agreement, that is the famous Treaty of Vienna. The Treaty of Vienna redistributed the territories once captured and under the control of Napoleon Bonaparte. Then we are going to study about the revolutions of liberals of 1848. This is also called as Age of Revolutions, because after the French Revolution of 1789, then in the year 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte came to power in France, and in 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte was defeated in the Battle of Waterloo. The Treaty of Vienna was signed. But after that, there are several instances of revolutions in various parts of European continent. So revolution by liberals, revolution by the newly educated middle class population. So that is what revolution by liberals. Then the important topics, that is unification of Germany and unification of Italy. In between, of course, we are going to discuss about the freedom movement in Greece, unification of Germany and unification of Italy. Cadets, I request you to please write down these points, because the chart clearly explains the topics which you are going to study in this particular chapter. Then about liberal nationalism, political sphere and economic sphere. Then we studied about liberalism. What is liberalism? The word liberal means free. So what do you mean by liberal nationalism? Means emphasizing the freedom. So what is freedom? Freedom in the sphere of political, that is called freedom in political sphere. Then freedom in what? In economic sphere. Now what is political freedom? Political freedom refers to end of aristocracy. End of aristocracy means aristocracy is nothing but the highest form of dictatorship. So end of aristocracy, or giving end of aristocracy is one other major point, whereas putting an end to the dictatorial rule. Then adoption of constitution, because if the country is run or administration in a country is done according to the constitution, naturally that is good for the country. That is what we speak about adoption of the constitution. Government by consent, because in a democracy government is elected by the people, so naturally it is a government by consent of the people. But in a dictatorship or in a monarchy, in a dictatorship, whosoever enjoys the military power, he definitely enjoys the government. So that is not a government by consent. So in a political sphere, what the political liberalism argues, that is government by consent. Representative government through parliament. What is representative democracy? I told you there are two types of democracy. One is called direct democracy, second one is called representative democracy. In a direct democracy, people directly participate in the process of law making, that is, or drafting of any bill. Representative democracy, India is an example for representative democracy. What we are doing here, we elect our representatives in a process of ballot paper, or today we have EVM, electronic voting machines. So we elect our representatives run the government. That is what representative government through the parliamentary system. Another important point, that is equality before law. Equality before law is nothing but abolition of birth-based privileges. Abolition of birth-based privileges, that is what equality of law. Then abolition of property rights or introduction of private property. So some of the important changes or demand for liberal nationalism in a political sphere: end of autocracy, adoption of constitution, government by consent, representative government through parliament, equality before law, abolition of property rights. Now what is liberalism in freedom in economic sphere? That is freedom of market. Freedom of market means there should be free movement, that is called freedom of market. Removal of state imposed restriction on move of goods and capital. So removal of all kind of trade barriers and the movement of goods as well as money, that is capital. So liberal nationalism, political sphere, economic sphere. In a political sphere and economic sphere, they plan to introduce several new changes. Major events. In 18th century, Germany, Italy, Switzerland was divided into many states, independent and independent rulers. French Revolution, it was the first expression of nationalism. French Revolution, that's why it is called as the flag bearer of liberty. French Revolution is the first expression of nationalism. It ended monarchy in France and gave power to citizens. So French Revolution gave power to the citizens of the country and to the monarchy. Napoleonic Code of 1804. It did away all the privileges based on the birth. So the Napoleonic Code abolished birth-based privilege, and very important today what we speak about, rule of law, that is called equality before law, and secured right to private property. So Germany, Italy, Switzerland, divided into many states, had their own independent rulers. French Revolution was the first expression of nationalism. It ended monarchy in France and gave power to the citizens. Napoleonic Code of 1804 did away with all privileges based on birth, established equality before law, and secured the right to property. Revolutionary France marked the first political experiment in liberal democracy. What are the things they introduced? That is, right to vote and get elected was granted exclusively to the property owning men. So it was adult franchise but not the universal adult franchise. What is the difference between adult franchise and universal adult franchise? When voting right is given to all, then it is called universal adult franchise. Otherwise it is restricted franchise. Because franchise or voting right is restricted only for few. That is what it is called, restricted franchise. Men without property and all women were excluded from political rights only for a brief period under Jacobeans. Did all the adult male enjoy the right to vote? However, Napoleonic Code went back to the limited suffrage. That is what I said. Suffrage is nothing but voting right. That is called suffrage. So it is introduced the limited suffrage, reduced women's status of minor and subject to authority of father and husband. So women were refused to participate in the election process. So that is what the Napoleonic Code introduced in France. Vienna Congress in 1815. Representatives of European power. So please remember the four countries: Britain, Russia, Prussia and Austria collectively defeated Napoleon. So the four countries which defeated Napoleon Bonaparte and met at Vienna to draw the settlement for Europe. The Congress was hosted by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. So who chaired the Congress of Vienna? Who chaired the Congress of Vienna? The Congress of Vienna was chaired by Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. In 1871, Prussian King William I proclaimed German Emperor in a ceremony held at Versailles. So Vienna settlement, please remember Vienna settlement, Battle of Waterloo. The countries involved in defeating Napoleon Bonaparte in the Battle of Waterloo, the four major countries, and the Treaty of Vienna signed after the Battle of Waterloo. And who chaired the Vienna Congress. Vienna Congress was chaired by the Austrian Chancellor Duke Metternich. So remember all important points related to Congress of Vienna. Congress of Vienna. Important terminologies. The important terms: absolutist. What is absolutist meaning? Absolutist, literally a government or a system of rule that has no restraints on the power exercised. So absolutist power means there is no restraint or control on the power exercised. In history, the term refers to a form of monarchical government that is centralized, militarized and repressive. So absolutist is a repressive government, centralized government and militarized government. That is what absolutist. Utopia, a vision of society that is so ideal that is unlike to actually exist. That is what many times it is criticized, that the Karl Marx communism is an utopian idea. That is, it is a very beautiful idea to imagine, but very, very difficult to bring into practice. Plebiscite. What is a plebiscite? Plebiscite is a direct vote by which all people of a region are asked to accept or reject a proposal. That is called plebiscite. So people are either accept to or reject the proposal on a particular issue. I quoted example of Jammu and Kashmir because there was a proposal of by the Pakistan government to have held a plebiscite which was denied by the government of India. Conservatism, a political philosophy that stressed the importance of tradition, established institutions and customs, and preferred gradual development to quick change. So what is conservative politics? Conservatism is nothing but more importance is given to traditions and institutions like monarchy and customs and traditions practice. Change, they are not against the change, but the change should be very, very gradual or a slow process. That is what conservatism is all about. Zollverein, very important from the point of view. Zollverein was formed at the initiative of Prussia and joined by the most of the German states. The Union established tariff barriers and reduced the number of currencies over 30 to 2 currencies. So what is Zollverein? Zollverein is a customs union. Custom union. Today what we have EEC, that is European Economic Council. Today it is known as EU, European Union. Abolish the tariff barriers. Tariff barriers is nothing but tax barriers and reduce number of currency from over 30 to 2. Romanticism, a cultural movement which sought to develop a particular form of nationalist sentiment. So what is called romanticism is nothing but a cultural activity, a cultural movement which sought to develop a particular form of nationalist sentiment. That is called romanticism. Liberalism. Liberalism derived from a Latin word liber, which means free. So what is liberalism? Liberalism is nothing but derived from a Latin word liber, which means free. That is called liberalism. Junkers. Junkers, important personality and large landers of Prussia, they are called Junkers. So write down important points, of course all important terminologies, and this video is for your on 25th of January. So we are in the process of revision of the chapter Nationalism in Europe. The video is posted for 25th January 2021. I hope you are doing well, because if you are not done well in the pre-board examination, please don't leave the touch of reading. Involve yourself in the reading. I know that it's very difficult to concentrate more on online mode, but we don't have any solution at present. When we meet offline in the school together, naturally we will concentrate once again on the issues related to topics which are difficult to put. Till that, you have to take responsibility, you have to study well. That's the only solution. Thank you. Wish you a wonderful day. Thank you.